Well, Clean Sheet Device fans, I tried to give away a Miko Rantanen bobblehead on this episode. I tried my best. I tried my hardest. I tweeted it out several times. I put it on Instagram. I put it on TikTok. I put it everywhere. I wanted 250 subscribers so we can give away a Miko Rantanen bobblehead. It's right here. It's sitting right next to me. As per usual, it's always right here, right next to me. And we're not at 250 or 246. We're 4 short. So hit that subscribe button. There's 59% of you that are not subscribed to this channel over the last 30 days with the most watch hours. 59% of you are not subscribed. So just hit that subscribe button. We'll give away a Miko Rantanen bobblehead, and we'll have a new giveaway at 500 subscribers. But that's how we're opening up Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast. I'm your host, Stone Strinkman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Boy, heater upon his team. I mean, just points galore, subscribers galore. We're right there at 250. It's a good time to be a Stars fan.
That is Tic Tac Toe 8 in a row for the Dallas Stars before the Olympic break. We extended after the Olympic break where we were like, hey, Christmas break didn't go so hot. That was like 3 days. It's a 3-day break. We just had a 3-week break, and the boys are still hot. The boys are still buzzing. Obviously, I was in the building Wednesday. I was not in the building on Saturday for the Stars beating the Nashville Predators 3-2 in overtime last night in AAC. It looked like a hell of a game. It was a busy one. It was a lot of takes that we just were talking about pre-show. We're going to have to get into it on today's Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. This is day one of asking Hannah Bilka to come on the podcast so we can talk about the Olympic gold medal, her experience in Milan, her experience being just a badass and winning a gold medal. Like we need Hannah Bilka on here. So that's day one of the episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, asking Hannah Bilka to come on. There will be social media post Hannah Bilka. So you just come on the podcast and we don't have to do this too long. All right. That's it. But good win by the Stars last night.
Oh, no, absolutely. And, you know, the scoreboard did not reflect the way this game was played. And we're going to get into it. But, man, both goaltenders were having a day, weren't they, Stone?
Yeah, UC Saros owned that first period by far. Obviously, you look at Otter's 2 goals let in that first period, and you're like, and then you look at the goals themselves, and you're like, okay, not a lot that he could have done, right? There was a lot that the refs could have done on one, and there was one where, look, if you don't have a turnover at the blue line, that situation never happens. That second goal never happens in that situation. Might happen later in the game, but it is what it is. Right off the rip, though, shout out to our boy, Justin Ritzkovian. What the fuck are we doing at 7 minutes into the game? I don't even know what happened, and there was no replay, and there was no explanation of what was happening, but Justin Ritzkovian fights Zachary Leheru. I don't know how to say that name. It's very French Canadian. I have no idea. But number 68 for the Nashville Predators. They just started fighting in the middle of the game, 7 minutes into the game. I didn't know what was happening, but that's our dog. That's our rabid dog, Justin Ritzkovian, just getting in another fight. Because why the fuck wouldn't he?
The camera wasn't even remotely close. And I hear the crowd. And it takes me a few seconds to kind of get what's going on, and then the camera does get to it. But yeah, no, I mean, that kind of dog is just infectious upon the boys this past couple of games.
Yeah, and it's really strange because obviously we see Ritzy get in a fight the other night on Wednesday night defending his guy Miro, and towards the end of the game, he's got a black eye afterwards. We're like, oh shit, he's got a black eye from the fight. Turns out that wasn't from the fight. That was from a high stick from a teammate. I can't remember which teammate. Leah, our friend over at the Dallas Morning News, she tweeted that out after talking to him at casino night. We had casino night. That looked really fun. That looked like a blast. But yeah, that first power play that Nashville goes on, right? To Thomas Harley roughing on Philip Forsberg. What did we think about the roughing? Because I have an opinion.
No, stop. Come on. Come on. This is hockey. Like, even Nashville fans would kind of give you like, hey man, this is not my team, but that's not the right call.
Because if my memory serves me right, I'm not looking at the replay. I haven't looked at it today. This is just from my memory last night watching the game. It looked like Philip Forsberg kind of threw a little dirty, cheap shots in there with his elbows, a little bit of his hands, a little bit of slashing, a little bit of cross-checking. It's just a little bit of everything, right? And it's right on the benches. It's right on the boards. And that's kind of just what happens when you're making a shift change, and there's a little bit of extracurriculars. That happens in hockey, right? Thomas Harley goes with Philip Forsberg, and then Forsberg goes back at Harley, and then Harley is now seen by the refs roughing, quote unquote, with Philip Forsberg. I thought that was kind of horseshit. So already getting hoed by the refs there in that first period. I felt like there could have been a lot. It didn't stop there, though. It continued on the power play where Wyatt Johnston gets knocked down just before the blue line, heading into the defensive zone. Clear interference, like a cross check basically to the back, because Wyatt Johnston's not falling down that way. And then you see another one, I think it was Essa Lindell, is basically just getting tied up by another Predator player right off the rip, and Michael Bunting just walks in down Main Street because Wyatt Johnston's on the ground and Essa Lindell's being literally held or roughed or interfered with and not able to defend the puck. Michael Bunting gets a power play goal there. And I don't want to blame Jake there because it's kind of like one of the first few shots on goal at that point, it felt like. And also 2 of his defenders were taken out of the play, even though he'd already had 1 defender down because of the power play. The refs were absolutely hoeing the Stars there in the first period.
Yeah, I mean, if not the Johnston trip pisses me off, what made me really upset about that was Essa just completely getting screened. And like, really, if he's not getting screened, that puck probably never even gets to Ottinger. And like, to have 2 infractions on the same scoring play, very brutal, dude. Like, you can't blame Jake. And I thought, I mean, in totality of this game, Jake said he got back home early. He did not go to the White House to get reps in, to get warm. And his recovery from post to post, deep in the net, back in the net, he looked really on. And the scoreboard kind of made it seem otherwise. But Jake was looking really good in a phone booth. And that, it was just, you can't put that on Jake at all.
No, and I thought Jake had maybe a rough first period, really. It's just like kind of got peppered a little bit and some shaky saves here and there. And then obviously you let the 2 goals in and it's not on him. Obviously, we're going to keep talking about it. Sure, you want him to save those pucks, and he wants to save those pucks all day long. He's a goalie. He wants to go how many ever for how many ever. He wants to show a goose egg on the scoreboard every night. So I'm sure he was upset about that. I'm sure the players were upset about it. But like, if you're playing NHL on EA Sports, not an ad, but free ad, no free ads. If you're playing that and you decide to tie up a guy on the move heading towards the net, that they automatically call the penalty in the game. Tying up Essa Lindell dozens of feet ahead of the net and everything, it just didn't make any sense. But Michael Bunting, it's 13th goal of the season, power play goal, 14 and a half minutes in. And then basically a minute later, you have a really bad turnover there at the blue line. Jamie Benn trying to get it back into the neutral zone, into the offensive zone. And he just kind of was a little lackadaisical with the puck. And I noticed that last night. I thought Jamie was a little bit too lackadaisical. And I don't know if that's just kind of how he is this season or what it is, but that's what I noticed. Haven't watched Stars hockey really in 3 weeks, but a little lackadaisical. Steven Stamkos is there from Evangelista. Stammer on Otter wide open. It's like 90 times out of 100 he's scoring that goal. I feel like it's Stammer. I don't know. I didn't feel bad about that one. Sure, Jake probably wants that back, and you're down 2-0, and it looks bad. It looks real bad 15 and a half minutes into that first period.
Oh, no, you could have the all-world defender on you. Like, you give a guy like that with that much talent, that much space, he's going to rip a heater. And that's exactly what happened. Like, he's going to get you, and that's what happened. Like, that's exactly how that played out.
Yeah, they played that 2-on-1 perfectly. The Preds did, and Jake maybe came out a little too far, but that's kind of his style. He's 6'5", he's a big boy and likes to come out and kind of be aggressor and kind of bit him in the ass. He went far side, Stammer did, and it's a good call by Stammer. I mean, it's not much he could do. Ryan O'Reilly was kind of in that area too. It might have been 3-on-2, 3-on-1, but it is what it is at this point, right? You're down 2-0. You're not feeling great, but you are feeling great about the physicality because those boys were chucking knucks, obviously, with Ritzy. And then you're feeling a lot of hits. You're feeling a lot of stuff. Finishing hits on the boards with Ernie, with Jamie, with Liam Bischel. Liam had a really good one there in that first period. You remember that? Where the guy kind of already was a little bit fallen and Liam just finishes the hit. That was pretty fun. Sad we didn't get a replay of that because I wanted to see that on the Twitter sphere and I never saw it again.
Yeah, and like he hit him and then kind of watched his work while he's on the floor and kind of like slowly kind of
little smile
drives past him with that smile. Yeah. And I was expecting this kind of physicality from Nashville. I mean, they're a scrappy team and their season right now could go either way. Like they could make some noise or they could be right at the market. You never know. And they needed these points and down 0-2, like I was going to see how this Dallas team kind of responds to that threat. And we've known since last year they can play behind. So Gully said something, and that energy stayed physical throughout the game.
Yeah, and there's a graphic either during the game or pregame from Victory Plus where it showed like the most amount of points from whatever date on through yesterday or whatever it was. Minnesota Wild had 50 points. Avalanche had like 48. I think the Stars had 47, and then the Predators were right there with like 46 points from whatever day that was in December. So not a team that to be trifled with, really, like a young, scrappy team, but also has those old, scrappy veterans that have done it and have won Stanley Cups, like Ryan O'Reilly, Stammer, all those guys. Philip Forsberg's been in the Stanley Cup finals. He's been there forever. Like a decent squad that they put together last summer and decided to double down and go in it again this year. They're kind of paying in those dividends now after a really slow start to the season. But we get to the second period, and it took a while, and you're sitting there like, it's 2-0. Like, if you could just get one this period, everything's fine. Everything feels good. You can get to the third period down 2-1, and you feel pretty happy. And luckily, we get a little power play action, right? And it's not the same power play. It's clunky. It doesn't work the same. The passes aren't from Mikko and Rope, and it's coming from Jamie and some other guys. And you're just looking around, you're like, all right, how do they figure this out? Well, I mean, Robo over to Jamie cross crease pass over to Wyatt Johnston, kind of the tap in. He went top shelf on it just because it's Wyatt Johnston. Why not go top shelf? But didn't really even have to. Wyatt Johnston's 20th power play goal of the season, his 32nd goal of the season overall, tied Robo at that time with 32 goals for the team lead. Then you're right back in it. There's 4 minutes left in that period, and you start to feel a little frisky. You start buzzing a little bit right after this goal too. Getting that power play, it's 2-1. You feel pretty good going to that intermission.
Yeah, and from the fans, it was a great Stars goal horn chant. And I kind of knew, like, I know we were down a goal, but I felt like a weird confidence that, like, there's not much left that Nashville can hang on to. And when Robo is setting the table like that, like, we know how good of a goal scorer he is. We know how good of a defender people don't think he is, but we know he is. But when he can set the table, like, boy, is it fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a little bit like Mikko in a situation on the power play where he's getting the setup pass for the setup pass, basically. He's moving all of the eyes of the goaltender and the defense over to one side where it leaves Wyatt Johnston or Rope or Robo, whoever's on that other side, kind of wide open. That one just went to Jamie and then over to Wyatt. Kind of the same thing without Rope and Mikko. Obviously, we're still missing them, but you head into that intermission, and you're like, okay, we played a really good last 5 minutes. Really good. A lot of shots on goal there at the end. A lot of really good quality chances. UC Saros is playing just phenomenal at this point. He's saving all kinds of stuff, like that breakaway, I believe, in the first period on Wyatt Johnston. Or not breakaway, but that 6 sauce from Maverick Bourque over to Wyatt Johnston where he kind of went back in and just got it elevated a little bit too much. If he keeps it on the ground, I think it sneaks under his pad. But UC Saros played a really hell of a game. At the end of the day, he was playing a hell of a game. You get to the third period, and fourth line strikes again. Nathan Bastian from Thomas Harley. Nathan Bastian celebrates goals just like Justin Ritzkovian. It's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and we're getting after it after scoring a goal there. Nathan Bastian's 4th goal of the season for Thomas Harley, his 21st assist of the season, 5.5 minutes into the third period. And then you're like, okay, yeah, we can win this in regulation. We'll be fine. You got 15 minutes. We'll go find another one. Didn't happen. But sick goal from Bastian. Happy that he's in the lineup. Happy that he contributes. Goalie mentioned him there in the post-game speech to him in the locker room that they put out on socials. And he's like, great game, Bass. Like, thought it's good for Bastian to get that goal.
No, it was. And it was a tough goal to score as well. Like, people think that's an easier net to get to, but there was maybe an inch between that puck and the pipe, and he had to fit it in there. And credit to the style of play he's been playing with. I mean, you hang around the net, good things happen. And that's what happened there. And yeah, the goal celly was fun to see. It was like a little Duchesne sending Colorado home, a little spice to it. And then he kind of, like, it hit his mind, like, all right, I got to kind of lock in because this is a tie game. Like, he did it, got fired up. And as he's doing the handshake line, he's like, all right, let me cool off a little bit because there's a lot more game to play.
Yeah, and that was a true fourth line goal, right? The puck goes behind the net. The goaltender goes to get it. You get a little bit of pressure. goes past the Predator player, goes to Ritzy. Ritzy sends it over to Thomas Harley. Harley does his patent in, just fling it at the net and hope something good happens kind of thing, which is a strategic play, by the way. Thomas Harley's so good at it that half the time something good happens, good rebound there from Bastion to collect it and then send it right, like you said, right post and in. So great goal. And you're sitting there 2-2 and you're like, yeah, we can win this. I think that you can just win in regulation, not have to mess with overtime. And then the clock just keep dwindling down. It was just, it just kept on going. You're like, all right, I guess we're going to fucking overtime. That last minute was a little horrifying. Felt like Nashville was getting a lot of pressure. They were getting a lot of shots. You're sitting there, but you go to overtime and you're tied 2-2 and you're like, look, we've played a pretty rough game on offense. I think the defense had been decent. I think the offense had their chances, but few and far between, really. You're sitting there 2-2. All right, we collected a point. We'll go home happy with the point if that's what it is, but let's try to go find 2 here in overtime.
Yeah, and I think really it was the whole game, but particularly in that kind of after we tied it up, even Wyatt Johnston was getting in the mix, chipping, and getting physical. And there was a couple of chirps getting thrown, which if Wyatt Johnston is chirping, like it's a physical game. And it just speaks to a testament of like all of these stars are out. All of these guys from the Olympics are getting their much deserved time away. And I'm thinking like, all right, the second line guys are going to pick us up. The first line guys are going to pick us up. But the fourth liners continue week in, week out to give you that 10, 20 minutes of just hell for that other team to play against.
Yeah, and you mentioned Wyatt chirping a little bit. It was fun. That was kind of interesting. You could see it after the whistle, and they're kind of skating by. He puts the mouth guard on one side of the thing, and he's just kind of smiling at him. He's like,
Yeah.
And he starts talking, and you know that he's not saying ums, which is very funny because he's not trying to be a press conference hockey player. He's going no ums, which I saw someone tweet that about Jack Hughes in his post-game press conference after winning the gold medal. Not a single all emotion. So that's cool to see. That was fun. But yeah, Wyatt just kind of getting the mix a little bit. I think that's fun. Also, I think it's fun that Jim Nill signed him to a $8.45 million deal for 8 years, or $8.5 million deal for 8 years or 5 years. Like, great job by Jim Nill. Fucking masterclass, because he's out playing that right now.
Oh, dude. And that contract just looks better and better. And he did that, it was like a week before the Rantanen deal goes down? Like
same day.
Oh, it was the same day. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. They had started talking about it a couple of days before. But then everything finalized that day, and the Mikko deal plus contract extension happened the same day. Jim Nill was busy.
Just doing his thing.
As per usual. But we go to the overtime period. You win the faceoff. Nashville then collects the puck a little bit. 20, 30 seconds later, right? They get their chance, and then the Stars get the puck back. And that's kind of it. That was the end of it. And Wyatt Johnston kind of dominated that last shift. He was just he was buzzing all around the net. He comes right back around, and it looks like my phone started buzzing, and I put it down, but I could hear it buzzing. And I was like, all right, the game's over. Like, because you hear 3 buzzes in a row, and it's probably like ESPN, it's the NHL app, it's the real app. It's all the sports apps that I have, which I need to just probably delete a handful of them so I don't get 20 buzzes right after a game ends. But what can you do? But you see him buzzing, and he's circling around. I think it's Wyatt. Wyatt shoots it. Kind of goes to a rebound situation, right? Miro collects it. Robo fights through a lot of physicality there, right next to the net. He gets the front edge. He gets the edge on the defender, and Miro just sends an easy pass over to Robo. Robo top shelves it. Overtime, bang. 33 goals on the season for Robo, his first since the break has ended. 41 assists for Miro and 31 for Wyatt. Game ends 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes into overtime. It's 3-2. You're going home happy, and that's 8 wins in a row. Tic Tac Toe, 8 in a row for the Dallas Stars. That ties their franchise record for wins in a row, where they can go win it tonight. As you're listening to this Monday night over in Vancouver, it's going to be a late night, but they can extend the win streak into a franchise record of 9 games tonight against Vancouver.
Yeah, and that crowd erupted. Oh. They do every time when Robo sends one into the net, but man, like, in that play, you got to see how hard it is to cover Robo on every given night. Like, that defender was putting a spin cycle before Robo gets to that pass. And it's just like, it's a nightmare, because it takes half a second for that puck to be on his tape. And it's already in high danger. And like, that goal, the Johnston goal, it just shows you like these guys are running so well together. It's Golden State Warriors type of passing and running around and getting open. And, you can only leave them for so little time, open space, and they're going to kill you. And Robo just erupts that crowd. And boy, man, like momentum on momentum on momentum without Mikko Rantanen is crazy.
And Roope Hintz and Radek Faksa. Like, you're missing 3 pretty key points. I know Radek's a fourth liner, but like, I don't think everyone understands how good the fourth line has been, especially with Radek Faksa. I had some comments on my last TikTok the other day after our last episode, and they were saying, we just need to get rid of Faksa. He's no good for this team. He's bringing him down. I'm like, no, he's pretty important. Plays the PK, pretty good leader there on the PK, and also really good on the fourth line. You know how many fucking shorthanded goals we've had just because he's created chaos? The only shorthanded goals that we have this season are because Radek Faksa created chaos. Like, that's pretty much the only reason. So Radek's an important part of this team, but obviously Mikko, your point leader on this team, your assist leader, one of your leaders in your locker room, he's missing here for another game. He's going to be missing for another week minimum, probably another 2 after that. Like, you're going to be missing this guy. Wyatt Johnston has to step up. Jason Robertson has to step up more than what he's already been doing. When Roope Hintz comes back, he's going to have to step up. So it's good to see the boys buzzing still without those 2 guys, especially those 2 guys leading the charge on the offensive side of the puck. And also feeling kind of frisky about the Robo-Wyatt pairing. I know we're addicted to Robo, but kind of buzzing with Wyatt and Robo.
No, it looks great. And that's a weird blessing to have. It's like we get time to discover what pairings are going well, and this one has been clicking. These boys, man, everybody earns their job, and it feels like, to me, kind of reading the tea leaves, I don't know who, I don't know when, but we might be adding some more players onto this Dallas Stars team, and we'll look even stronger.
Yeah. So we'll address the Tyler Myers stuff now, huh? We talked about it last episode, and I hadn't really done any research, and I'm not staying up to watch Vancouver games, nor do I want to watch Vancouver games at this point, because they're a really bad team, right? That doesn't mean that they have bad hockey players on their team. That just means that their system is broken, right? Everyone on their team is probably good enough to win a bunch of hockey games. They just aren't right now, and that's either coaching or leadership or whatever it is, right? Tyler Meyer, assistant captain for the Vancouver Canucks, 6'8" right-handed defenseman. Turns out he fits like a glove on the Dallas Stars. He's playing 20 minutes a night, plays the PK. 6'8". I know he's 36 years old, turns 37 next year, and he's got retention here at $3 million this year, $3 million next year. You just put Sagan on the SELTIR, so you have his full cap hit, or whatever the full cap hit is technically that you can use for the new LTIR rules. You can use that. Tyler Meyer, 20 minutes a night next to Thomas Harley, being 6'8", and then getting to put him on PK1 with Esa Lindell instead of Miro Heiskanen, saving 2-3 minutes a night. Just thinking out loud here, guys. I'm getting a little excited.
The puzzle piece really fits the bill on this one, and he's a guy that's going to come out and play the exact role you want him to play. And I did a little bit of talking to the very few people that I know, and the math is mathing that his camp is excited about coming to a team like Dallas. Will it happen? We don't know. We'll have to come and see. But I think there is motion that Dallas can really get away with a good deal. If it's Tyler Myers, if it's somebody else, they have this. I know the cap situation's weird. I know. Listen, man, Jason Robertson's contract grows by the month. It seems like. I think they have the money for it. I think they will pay the price. But bottom line is Jim Nill has options, and this is an option I think would fit well. A native Texan playing for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, the kid's from Houston. He's not a kid, obviously. He's much older than I am. Not much older. I'm about to join the 30 club here in a month. So, but he's 36. He's a little bit older. He's on the last legs of his deal, right? But he's from Houston. His nickname is Big Tex. He's 6'8". He's physical. He plays the PK well. He plays really good strategic defense. He can sit back when Thomas Harley wants to get into the muck, get into the offensive game. That guy can sit back and play really good, responsible defense for you. And I know I've loved Lyubushkin, right? I love Lyubushkin. I loved him last year when everyone was shitting on him. I loved him. I loved him this year when everyone's shitting on him. His cap hit is $3.25 million. you trade him for Myers straight up, you're actually saving money next year, $250,000 basically, because Lyubushkin is still under contract next year. So there is that scenario where you add a draft pick to Lyubushkin, you're basically paying for that extra $320 or the $250,000, right? Or you add a higher draft pick and you get Myers down to 1.5, get him a 50% retention spot because Vancouver still has a retention spot. You get 3 per team. They've already used 2. You can use 1 on him. If you pay a little bit more with the higher draft spot, maybe it's a 3rd rounder or whatever it is, and you give him Lyubushkin, you get out of that deal, you get into the Tyler Myers deal, you still save like $1.75 million. I don't know. I'm not the cap guy and I'm not Jim Nill. But I'm in. I think I'm in on Tyler Myers. I've changed my mind. I did a lot of research over the weekend. I like Tyler Myers.
Yeah, and in this deal, basically, I think the tires will get kicked in other directions before it comes back. But bottom line, from what I've been told, was that the appreciation for Dallas is heavy on Tyler Myers, and Tyler Myers has a lot of control in this situation. So those two things can combine for a scenario where we can see him in a Stars uniform. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and obviously no move clause for Tyler Myers. Like, he gets to choose where he goes. They can present him with 20 different offers and he can choose it down to 1, or he can just say, no, you're not trading me. I'm staying in Van. That's also a complete possibility. But this summer it turns into 12-team no move clause. So he has 12 teams that he's protected from. The other 20 are basically available. So kind of looks like that this summer. So I think he's trying to make that deal happen today. For the viewers and the listeners that are tuning in right now, Dom, I know his connections, obviously. We talk about it off the air. We're going to keep that off the record, who the sources are, because that's what good people do. But Dom, obviously not the credentialed meteor that I am for the Stars. He's still very connected down in Houston, where Tyler Myers is from. We know someone pretty close to him. And it looks like there's something. It looks like there's something, and obviously Dallas has been linked already from Friedman and everybody else. They've kind of been kicking the tires on it, but that doesn't mean a deal is imminent. That just means that they're talking. So we'll have to see. We'll just have to wait and see. That's all it is.
Yeah, and this entire trade deadline is a little weird to me because there's like contract situations and cap hits and who's in, who's out. Like, this is going to be a very odd trade deadline because there's not real clear situations on anybody. And it's going to make for NHL standards very good TV. NBA, it's going to be kind of like a normal trade deadline. But a lot of things have to be sorted out before we get to something serious. And bottom line is, if you're a Stars fan, I think you should feel confident knowing something is going to be added to this roster.
Yeah, they're not going to stand pat at all. Speaking of trade deadline, though, that's Friday. We're recording this on Sunday, March 1st. We're into March. Big deal. Friday, I have practice at AAC. The deadline is at 2 Eastern, I believe. Let me just make sure I've got this right, because I think that's correct. But pulling up the Slack, we're just making sure here, team. I want to make sure that we got it all right. So Friday, they have 10:30 morning skate at AAC. 2 p.m. is the deadline. Time TBD. Jim Nill, media availability at American Airlines Center. So look, my wife is flying home and we'll be home around 6 p.m. at Love Field. I got to pick her up. But if we can get Jim in the building and at the podium at like 2:30 at the latest, go till 3, maybe we can go live from 3 to 4 from me at AAC. Talk about the deadline. See what happens, I don't know.
That'd be fun, man.
That'd be interesting. So I'm keeping that option open. I'm going to make sure I bring my mic. I'm going to make sure I bring my portable camera, so it won't be this clear 4K camera, because I don't want to lug that whole thing through AAC and get it checked and all that kind of stuff. I'll bring my little webcam. It'll be what it is. I'm going to prepare for that. If anything happens this week, breaking news-wise, I will see if Dom or Savannah are available, and if they are not, I'll do a little solo pod if we have a breaking news trade during the week, because obviously we've got Monday, Tuesday games. Monday in Van, where you can win 9 in a row. First time in franchise history if they were to win against Vancouver. And then Tuesday night against Calgary, 8 p.m., we'll be streaming. I'll be streaming. I think Dom's going to join me. We're going to be live on stream on our YouTube here at Clean Sheet Device. So you got to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'll be able to have the game on TikTok. Don't tell TikTok I'll be having the game actually there. So if you want to watch the game and us at the same time, be on TikTok, but also YouTube and Twitter like we normally are. But we'll do a little game preview for the Vancouver game, because Not going to preview a game 2 games in ahead because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow night or tonight as you're listening to this. Vancouver, you got a score prediction? You think we just go ahead and get the trade done with Tyler Myers then, or what are we doing?
Man, this is a great game to go for a record. Tyler Myers will be in the building. I assume so. So I don't know who's in net, but I don't care. Like the goaltending and the defense specifically has been so good. I'm going like a 4-1. I'm going like heavy on the aggressiveness. I've seen an aggressiveness out of Maverick Borg and Sam Steele that I haven't seen in previous seasons, and it's gradually getting there now. And with big stars out and these guys kind of being as aggressive as they can, like this is a great game to just steamroll somebody.
Would be nice. It would be nice. Maverick Bork, like he said, he's been kind of buzzing. He feels confident and everything. That first 2 shifts that he had last night against Nashville, dude's throwing as big of hits I've ever seen out of Maverick Bork last night. He was just buzzing around, just trying to throw haymakers around. So, yeah, I would love a little confidence. I would love a little buzz right there in the first period and see if you can get that early goal or 2, right, and feel pretty confident. Vancouver's, they're last in the Western Conference. They're at 43 points. 18, 34, and 7. They're 2-6-2 in their last 10. I mean, their home record's worse than their away record. So that means that their crowd doesn't like them. They're 6, 17, and 5 at home. So, like, yeah, if you lose this game, it was bad. It was a real bad game. Even without Mikko Rantanen, even without Roope Hintz, even without Radek Faksa, which, look, we heard from Gully the other day at practice, Radek Faksa's got to go through something. We asked if he specifically needed to go through a protocol or anything like that, and Gully said he needs to go through something. I have no idea what that means. That doesn't mean if he's going through a protocol or if he's just working through the upper body injury, or if we're looking at a Matt Duchene situation from earlier in the season. He's still day-to-day. It is what it is. Roope Hintz, still fighting the sickness. He skated by himself on, I believe, Thursday or Friday at Frisco, or Saturday or whatever it was. He skated by himself. He's still dealing with that sickness. They're hoping that he's able to travel, but we'll have to wait and see who's on the plane today or tomorrow morning. So you should win this game, even without your guys. I like your 4-2. I'll raise you 5-1. Just go buzzy.
Like yeah, just completely following the train that we've been seeing. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We could have had 5 goals that last game. Like, that's how much heat we would give Saros. Just Saros was standing on his head.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. And Vancouver usually has good goaltending when they're in Dallas against Dallas. On the road, Dallas is pretty good against Vancouver. So I'd like to see a little bit of that. If we're seeing that trade before the game, like last year, I don't remember which game. It was against Vancouver. But JT Miller, I think that trade happened that night when he's going to New York and going back to New York. Like, that happened right an hour before the game started. They both showed up, and 2 guys were traded off the team right off the rip. So it would be fun. It would be a normal Vancouver-Dallas game, I guess, if a trade happens like an hour before the game.
Yeah, I mean, just this heater, man. It doesn't, like, it's starting to feel like just the normal week for Dallas.
Yeah, you have those buzzer beater wins where you win with a minute left, and then you have a game where you kind of shit pump a team right as you come back from the break, and then you have another kind of squeezer there overtime against Nashville, a little Central Division foe and everything, and now you're playing against Vancouver. Like, I feel like a shit pump is in order here. I would love 5 goals. I'm not expecting 5 goals. I'm not expecting the win, but I would love a shit pump. Like, I would just love to steamroll a team, you know? It would just feel good to steamroll the worst team in the Western Conference. No, I mean, I'm sorry, Vancouver fans. Like, you're the worst team in the Western Conference. It's not me trying to dig at you guys. It's just objectively what is at the standings right now, and I can't help that. I would like to see just a shit pump and just to destroy them and then make the trade right after the game, and we just bring Tyler Myers over to Calgary with us.
Dude, that'd be sick.
It'd be pretty fun. I don't know if I'd be awake for the trade to actually happen or materialize, but I could be. I don't know. The game's at 9 p.m.
Brutal.
It's tough. I hate the 9 p.m. games. It's tough. But on Tuesday, we'll be streaming at 8 p.m. We'll go live there right around 8, right before the Calgary game starts, because they usually start 10 minutes after. So 8 p.m. live on YouTube at Clean Sheet of Ice, live on TikTok, live on Twitter. We'll be streaming the Stars versus the Calgary Flames game. we'll have it live on TikTok. So if you want that Victory Plus feed, you can just shoot over to TikTok, put it on your computer, to put it on your TV screen, whatever you want to do. I'll have it there. Or you can do the whole dual screen thing where you have the laptop and the TV. You pick your own poison. Do what you did for the USA gold medal match, whatever that was. Do that because that one worked. All right, just keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we're right there, man. 250's right on our corner. Hannah Bilka, please, we need you.
Yeah, Hannah Bilka, come on the pod. Texas Hockey Pod is not just a Dallas Stars pod. It's a Texas Hockey Pod. So all of Texas hockey, we'd love to talk about you. Hannah Bilka, please come on. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Turn on the notification bell. We've got this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. It's right here. It's just sitting on my desk. It stares at me every single day, and it pisses me off. You know why? Because we can't hit 250 subscribers. We just need to hit 250. And once we hit 250, which I hope is by Wednesday, before the trade deadline, would love to give that away before the deadline. Put that in the mail before the deadline. Or if you're in Dallas, I can come drop it off to you or meet you at a game. Bring it there. We can do all the things. But the Mikko bobblehead will be given away. Once we hit 250 subscribers, we'll have a buzzword on that episode once we hit 250. So make sure you're tuning in. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. It will be in the description that we're giving away the Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. It will not have the buzzword in the description, though. You got to tune in and you got to get to the point where I give you the buzzword. That's the deal. You got to be a real Clean Sheet of Ice fan to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And boy, just wait till you see what's at 500.
500 is going to be pretty crazy. 750 will be even crazier. And then 1,000 is a jersey of your choice, a Dallas Stars jersey of your choice. Just saying. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, no, this heater is going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. The new goal is now to hit 500 before the playoffs start. Once we hit 500, we'll have more live shows for you. Just saying, there will be live shows when we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube. You gotta get us there, team. You gotta get us there.
Yeah, and we want to have more fun with you guys, so it'll happen.
Yeah, we want to make more content. We want to do more things with the fans. We want to do meetups. We want to do watch parties. We want to do all those things, but we got to hit the subscriber count so we can go sell that to restaurants and bars and everything else, to do the watch parties, to do the fun stuff, to do more live streams, all that kind of stuff. It takes more of you guys and it takes more out of us and everything too. So it is what it is. It's a two-way road. We're willing to do more content. You got to be willing to hit that free subscription button, because it's not a subscription really. It's just you hitting a button. That's all it is. It's all free. It's all great on YouTube at Clean Sheet of Ice. We'll be back with another episode on Wednesday, unless something breaking happens by Tuesday, and we'll obviously be live on Tuesday night against the Calgary game. So hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode, never miss a live stream, never miss a short, anything on YouTube. We'd love to have you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope we get some trades pretty soon. And that's it for Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast.